Okay, welcome back. So next, we're going to move on to creating our first component. So here I have a simple diagram that shows the basic components that our app has. So we have the app component. It's going to be really simple. We're basically just going to have a to-do list component inside of it. Now we could, put all the to-do list functionality inside the app component itself and not have a to-do list component. But this leaves room for us to also add more components like a navbar component, a footer, some sort of side component, rather than just putting all the functionality in the app. It also allows us to have a nice semantic name for our component, to-do list, rather than just calling something app. So inside app, we're going to have to-do list. And in this video, we're going to focus on to-do list. So we have our list of to-do items. So each to-do item is just going to display a little bullet point with the to-do text, as well as a button to delete that to-do. And it will also reflect if it's a completed or incomplete to-do. And so some of that logic will be in here, but the logic to delete or add a new to-do is actually going to happen in the to-do list, because our to-do list is where the state is being managed, where all those to-dos are in the state. And we also have a to-do form. This will just be a simple form where you type something in, you hit a button, and that button triggers an event, and it calls a function that is going to add to our to-do list to-do state. And all that's good, but also we have to talk about the API functionality. So we're going to have API calls that are triggered. When the to-do list component loads, when the component mounts, or when it will mount, we're going to fire off an API call to fetch all of the existing to-dos from our database. Then we're going to create to-do items with those to-dos that come back. When our to-do form is submitted, we're going to take that data and fire it off as a post request to our API to add a new to-do. And then when it's done successfully, hopefully, there's no error, we're going to add a new to-do item to the page. But for now, we're going to just focus on to-do list, and we're going to get something showing up on the page. So this should be super quick. We're just going to go and define what we want to happen. So my cat is causing some trouble. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. My cat decided to spill a glass of water. So where was I? We're going to add in our to-do list component, which doesn't exist yet. It's going to give us an error. And actually, I'm going to take this opportunity to move my terminals down here so I can see those errors as they happen. Here we go. And if I save, it tells me to-do list is not defined. So let's define to-do list. So I'm going to make a new file, and rather than stopping the server and using touch, I'm just going to go over here, go down to new file, and I'm just going to make a to-do list.js. And in there, we'll put our little boilerplate. So we're going to import React from React. So we'll start there. And then the first thing we'll do is define our most basic component. So we're going to do class to-do list extends component. Hopefully this is familiar by now. And all we'll do is start with a simple render. And our render is just going to return an H1. And in here, we'll just say to-do list. Let's format this a bit better. I'll change my spacing over here to 2 for the tab size. Okay, so next we need to actually export our component. So export to-do list, just like that. Okay, so we have a component defined, but we're still getting this error because we're not importing it in our app. So up here, I'm actually going to remove this logo. We're not using that, and we'll get a somewhat annoying warning that's saying we're not using it. So I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to import to-do list from, and that's ./to-do list. There we go. And it looks good. If everything's working, we should see our H1. And we do. All right, so we have our component defined. Everything's looking good. And that's pretty much it for this super quick video. Next, we're going to actually fetch our initial data and get some to-dos showing up.